All right. So when you are trying to make a quiz and therefore a quiz key in ZipGrade, you can either do it through the desktop site or through the app. This video, we're going to be doing it through the desktop site. So first off, make sure that you're logged in. So I'm logged in to my school email address. Then you're going to want to click on the quizzes tab up here on the top left-hand corner of the page. Then whenever that loads, all of the quizzes that you've made so far will show up. Since I have either deleted or archived all of mine, none of them are showing up right now. But regardless, since we're just trying to create a new quiz, none of those matter anyway, so we're going to click on the new quiz button. And so the first thing you're going to want to do with the new quiz is give it a name. So we'll just call this sample quiz. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is choose the answer sheet. So you can choose between the 20, 50, and 100 question form. Also, if you create a custom answer sheet at some point down the line, you could also select that from this point as well. We're just going to stick with the 20 question form for now, though. The date, it's not super important. It just helps you remember when was this quiz administered. So you can change your date that way if you want. Online open submission. So this is something that ZipGrade has added as a result of all the COVID stuff going around. So if you wanted to administer a test online, you would want to make sure you check that box so that students can do that online. Then this step is completely optional, the classes. So I've got some classes set up here. Again, you can leave this completely blank if you don't have them set up. But let's just say I want 5th, 6th, and 7th hour to take that quiz. All right, so I'll save the quiz, and that will get it all set up and good to go. So next then, now that I'm on the quiz page, I want to go to the answer key section here and click on edit. And so from this page, I'm going to be able to put all the answers to all of my questions. So this answer sheet, remember, was the 20 question sheet. So it's going to go all the way to 20. To add an answer, it's super simple. You just simply type in what letter you want. And so we're going to go ahead and throw A in there for question number 1. Let's say question number 2 will be B. And then question number 3, let's say that's maybe a vocab question or something like that, where you have a bunch of different options. So you can't just do A, B, C, D, or E, where you have to double up. So like A, B, A, C, so on and so forth. So let's call that CD. So let's just stick with the first 3, and we'll hit Save Key. And the basics for this quiz key have been set up. And from here, you're essentially done. So if you only had those 3 questions, that's it, and you're ready to move on. A few little more advanced features with this. So if you look here, there's the Add Answer button. So let's say on question number 4, it was maybe a 2-part or multiple select question, and you want to give the students credit for maybe getting one of the options right, but not both of them. So we'll hit the Add Answer. And so maybe let's say A and C were the correct answers. So you could put A as the correct answer, and then you put C as the other, and it'll look for both of them. And if it sees the student got put down A, it'll give them a point. If they put down C, it'll also give them a point. One other thing are the point values. So if you notice, all of them at the beginning are set at 0. And then once I start inputting information in, so if I throw B there, since now there's a question there, it's going to automatically change it to 1. If you want to change the value of the points, all you have to do is simply click on them and then change the number. So let's make that 2. Let's say, since this was a multi-select, I want to make each of them worth half a point. So the question as a whole is still worth only 1. And then anytime you're done messing with the key, just make sure you hit the Save Key button to keep your answers. Then, if you want to have multiple keys for test security or whatever your reason happens to be, just simply hit the Add New Key button here, and you've got two options between mapped key and provide answers. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do the provide answers unless you're super concerned about your test security. There's kind of two reasons to that. So one is whenever it comes to item analysis, if you do the provided answers option, it will not link up with your key A. So there's no way to do item analysis, like how many students missed this question, yada, 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 with that key because they can't link up. And then the second reason, which is one of the few weaknesses I found of ZipGrade, is that with the different keys, the answer to each question has to be the same. So if one of the questions is what color is the sky? Then you might have, red, blue, green, purple as your options, regardless of what number it is. So maybe it was question number 1, maybe it was question number 5. The order within the test can change, but the order of the answer options has to remain the same. So if the answer on key A, let's say on number 1, the answer was B, then that means that the same question on every other key, even though it might have a different question number, it has to have the same answer. So if the choices were red, blue, and green, the choices have to be red, blue, and green in that order for every single key that you have. So anyway, with version B, now I can decide to move around what things I want them to be. So on the left here, these are going to be all the questions that I see on this version B. And then this is what question is it going to be in regards to key A. So let's say I want to completely flip it around. I know that I labeled 5 questions, so I'm going to change this to number 5 since that was originally the last one. 4, 3 we can leave alone, 2, and then 1. And so now it's going to, what was initially question number 5 on key A is going to be the first question that pops up, and it's going to be labeled as number 1 on key B. And then, of course, anytime you make a change, last thing you need to do is hit Save Key. And then you can add more than just a couple keys. I don't actually know if there is a limit, but I know that you can add at least 4 different keys on there. And really, you shouldn't need that many more than that. Then the last thing, if for whatever reason you need to delete just one particular key, you want to click on this setting button, the thing that looks like a gear, and just click delete key. And since right now I am currently on key B, if I hit that delete key, then it is going to get rid of just the key B, but all of my key A stuff will remain there.